Hey Taurus, how y'all doing? Welcome. We're going to be taking a look at your first half of June, general reading here. So in the meditation, I'm obsessed with your meditation, the message for this first half of the month for you. I saw a huge, enormous caterpillar. Like, I don't know, the size of several large Labradors, like a huge caterpillar. And I saw it sitting underneath a tree, and I saw all these, it was like a residential street. And I saw all these people pass by and just whatever, going about life. And then I saw this little butterfly. By the way, the people passing by, it looked like all of the village people. Like there was like a policeman and a fire person and like a, a businesswoman and all of these different, and the caterpillar, all right, just watched him go by. And then I saw this little butterfly fly and land on a branch, on the tree that the caterpillar was underneath. And it was like fluttering its wings, and it felt like it was saying, like, look at me. Don't you want to be me? Don't you want to be a butterfly? And then the Taurus collective, as the caterpillar, was like, I'm good. I feel like the message with this is you are perfect where you are. You are perfect as you are. That's what this feels like. So if you think about it, caterpillars, at least in terms of the conventional, view of beauty, aren't going to win any beauty contests like the butterflies are. Like, butterflies get all the good press, you know what I mean? But who's it be like a caterpillar and veg out, Caterpillars, their main purpose is to eat as much food as possible so that when they go into the chrysalis or the cocoon, if it's a moth, right, they have all that they need to sustain them to do the very difficult work of transforming into a new body and growing wings, right? That's the fuel. So it's like, how much you always see this, things like fly like a butterfly, like all of these things. Very seldom is it just like, do you be still and veg out and just feed thyself. Like, that's what this feels like. It's absolutely wonderful. Like, I really love this energy. Another aspect of the caterpillar as well is it speaks of really enjoying wherever you are in your given process. It's about not focusing on where you're going or the outcome around something, but just enjoying the fact that you're alive on Earth and that there's a sky above you and the earth below you. And that's really all you need and there is. It really speaks of such a beautifully balanced and happy perspective, which when we are able to employ and enjoy such a perspective, our given circumstances reflect that inner positive attitude and bring a lot of good towards us. It feels really good, Taurus. Let's go ahead and see what your cards say. Hey Taurus, let's go ahead and see what your animal energy is for the first half of June. Oh! Oh my God. Did you see that? Could you see that? They landed on top. And I was like, oh, there's another one. And then, these are so amazing. First of all, we already kind of talked about this. The eagle is the wheel of fortune in the tarot, which the wheel is turning in your favor and bringing you good fortune. Didn't we literally just talk about the caterpillar? When your inner perspective is on point, you attract towards you good fortune and wonderful things. And then it shows up here in your reading. Stop. Then you have the swan, which is Aquarius energy. That's the star. That's great hope, great love, great faith, and wish fulfillment. Also, there's an aspect of the swan here. See this mirror image here? This speaks of surrendering, allowing yourself to go with the flow of spirit, and in doing so, allowing yourself to receive your highest and best good. Again, that came up in your meditation with you living your best caterpillar life and not taking the bait of the butterfly and going oh, well, more people will like me or think better of me or compliment me if I'm a butterfly. You're like, nope, I don't care. All the village people can pass by me all day long. I'm good. Right? Because if you think about that image of all those people passing on the street, there's a huge caterpillar, like a King Kong as caterpillar sitting there, and none of them notice this caterpillar. Why? Because it was a cat. You know what I mean? So there's this aspect of really sitting in your own energy and just absolutely loving your unique form and your unique experience. And I'm so here for it. I'm so here for it. So the Swan, this speaks to that star energy, like I said, but this also speaks of, interestingly enough, the physical form. So traditionally in the tarot, the star is shown with that naked female, right, by the water. And that speaks of a sort of self-love and reflection where we ideally love ourselves for who we are at our core, and whatever we see reflected in the surface, we can view as beautiful and perfect because we love ourselves unconditionally, and thus we expect the same of others, right? When we love ourselves unconditionally in any way, shape, or form, and then we can expect that love and inspire others to it as well, then we receive it back, and then we show it to others and receive it back, and it's a wheel that keeps on spinning itself, right? This is really beautiful. It's really beautiful. I'm so, like, this is so perfect. I love this so much. I'm telling you, you got it, Taurus. Like, you are on it. You're doing it. Like, you are the medicine. I'm here for it. Let's see what's going on. Okay, I literally cannot with you, but I will. 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment. A full table full of juicy fruit. Starfish, Gemini energy, which is also wish fulfillment, of course, 9 of Cups. Okay, this is wish fulfillment, but it's also having an excess of something. So this could be like eating a lot of good food, drinking a lot of good drink, doing the most, having a good old time. So it's interesting too, because the caterpillar we were talking about, its main job is to literally feed itself so that it has all of the energy and fuel that it needs to transform later, right? When the time comes. And then you have this 9 of Cups here, which speaks of an excess, but of wonderful, good, nourishing things, of wish fulfillment, of having everything that you need and more. What did we say? When your inner state and your perspective is appreciating where you are without trying to get somewhere or an emphasis on a certain outcome, you end up attracting towards you all of the goodness. 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment. Do we need to keep going? Like, it's so good. I mean, I will keep going because I'd like to sit in this energy all day, but you know what I'm saying. It's so good. Good Lord. Y'all had a mighty fine birthday season. Oh, fascinating. So interesting, because we have a moth. Remember we were talking about the caterpillar and the butterfly or cocoon for moth? Really fascinating here. So here we have the 5 of Swords. So traditionally speaking, the 5 of Swords, it's air energy, right? Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. This speaks of how we act in disservice to ourselves or how others act outside of their integrity towards us, right? So this can be inward and or outward. I feel like for you guys, first of all, 5 is the number of change, but I feel like there's an aspect here where it's coming into greater focus. Your choices at the moment and during this time are being informed by learning from your past mistakes or learning from how you did things in the past, that you did the best that you could with the information that you have, but you are fueling your given experience from a 5 of Swords learning curve. Right? So what did I do before to try to fit a status quo? What did I do before to please others that did not fulfill me? What did I do before to try to A, B, C, X, Y, Z? Right? Okay, well, I'm going to learn from that. And now the choices that I make are a response to that, right? Now I do things this way because I know what it's like to act in disservice to myself. So now I'm acting in service to myself. I do feel like there's a certain energy around this as well, because we've got like butterfly energy, caterpillar, and then we have the moth here with the 5 of Swords. I will say I'm feeling a special note within this. Getting your own needs met is incredibly important. And I feel like I'm feeling that you are nurturing yourself and doing your thing. But I am feeling a bit like there's an energy here of, making sure that what you do is balanced in a way. So the time that you give yourself versus the time that you have for others, but also honoring whatever your needs are, regardless of the situation or the timing. Because that's moth energy. That's moth energy, right? Moth energy can be a bit impatient with itself, wish that it were somewhere else, or the moth kind of question, the shadow aspect of moth energy is, am I where I'm supposed to be? So I feel like a spirit is coming in to say, like, you can trust your feelings and follow the road that you're on. You are exactly where you're meant to be, and there's no need to think yourself out of it or fall back into patterns, mental patterns, right? That may, you know, seduce you otherwise. I'm going to tell you specifically, this feels like other people's opinions, because you see all these other different colored fairies, and I saw all those people, like the village people, like walking by the caterpillar. I feel like, be mindful of the news. Be mindful of the news, but be mindful, like, the media that you take in. Like, it feels like you're a bit, just be mindful of that, more susceptible, like highly empathic, but also because ingesting a lot of news can shift things within you. And I feel that's something coming through for a group of y'all. There's also an aspect with the Five of Swords that I feel like it's the weight or the cutting effect of other people's opinions or words. And I'm just getting a little warning around that all that really matters is how you feel and following those good feelings. Nothing else really matters. Don't let the haters get you down, or others of differing opinions or places, their comments or you know, opinions on where you are or where you ought to be or what you look like or what job you do or whatever. It's so inconsequential. So that's just coming forward for you, okay? What else is going on? Ugh. Oh my God. Did you just show up in your own reading? So here's another 5 here. 5, the High Priest. This is the Hierophant. Taurus energy. It's always very auspicious when you show up in your own reading. So I'm here for it. This is really beautiful. You know, this is everything being exactly as it's meant to be. We talked about this. This is a huge theme of this reading. Everything is exactly as it's meant to be. So with this, we can kind of look at this energy and just go, okay, I'm on the right path. I'm doing what I'm doing. There's an aspect of this as well that speaks of a more traditional approach to things. And I would say, you know, I'm feeling this essence of like creating your own traditions or being willing to exist outside of the current status quo, and in doing so, creating your own. It's really following your own status quo. That's very much what this feels like. And in doing so, you know, benefiting from a lot of good that's going to come to you and really enjoying the process of where you are at any given point. Again, because your perspective is aligned, right? You're going with the flow like the Swan medicine here, right? And then understanding and knowing that existing by others' rules or conventional standards or whatever it is never going to lead you to happiness. It's only going to lead you on the other side of like a lot of pointy objects. Because that's what that feels like, right? Really interesting. I'm also getting, you know, I feel like this is coming through for someone, so I'm going to say it. The Hierophant traditionally also speaks of marriage as well. And I am channeling for, I'm getting marriage. Like, I don't always take this literally, you know what I mean? But I am getting marriage. I feel like marriage is either being discussed or talked about or considered or in alignment in some way. Marriage. I'm hearing the marriage of two opposites as well. Because I'm seeing the alchemical signs here with the 2 keys, with the silver and the gold, with the moon and the sun here. There's something about that marriage of opposites. So this could be a lot of different things, but I feel like for a group of y'all, this is quite having an energy in your space that is an opposite to you, but in a really beautifully balancing way. Does that make sense? It's the yin to your yang, a marriage of opposites. It's this balancing figure that's coming in, but I also feel like for a group of you, I'm actually seeing marriage or discussions of marriage or meeting someone and like, wow, I can really see myself like marrying them. It's in the air, okay? Again, when I hear it, I say it. It's don't always take that literally, but I'm getting that literally for a group of y'all. Let's go ahead and get an oracle. I'm really feeling like the Divine Feathered Messenger. Let's get one of these. Swan, Eagle, Wheel of Fortune, and the Star. Really, really beautiful. You know, It's interesting because you have Aquarius energy here and you guys as Tauruses, but those are two fixed signs, right? It's interesting. It's interesting. It's interesting. Why do I feel like there's something, I feel like there's something coming in that involves another fixed sign. This could be so many different things. This could be job opportunity, business partnership, love, children, whatever. But I feel like it involves one of the other fixed signs I'm hearing. So Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, Leo. I'm getting that. Something involving another fixed sign. Feels important. Okay, let's get an oracle. Oh, wait, no, I didn't get your advice. Oh, look at her trying to skip ahead to the good part. It's all good, but let's get your advice. I'm just like, it's all fabulous. Let's get an oracle. Let's get your advice. Get your advice. Oh my God. I just like, I mean, your advice is the Ace of Wands. This is so beautiful. So this is that I am really happy that this came up because remember the wands rule the realm of the actions that we do or don't take around the work that we love to do and or the interpersonal relationships about which we are passionate, right? So around this with the Ace of Wands, this is about, you know, big, fresh new start, burst of inspiration, moving forward. We have the Firefly here, and Firefly medicine speaks of a certain need to take advantage of the moment before you because it can be fleeting, right? Fireflies burn brightly, but then they also burn out. So I feel like that's coming into the fray, but this also speaks of energy management as well. But when this is your advice, I'm really hearing to allow yourself to move forward with whatever it is brings you passion. Whatever you are passionate about, the time is now to really, really, really breathe life into that, right? It really feels important. When you have the Wheel of Fortune and the Star, it really feels like you're either working towards something or there's an aspect of your dream or your dream reality that's coming into the fray. And I'm really hearing to like go for it. But another part of this, there's another part of this that says opening yourself up to Ace of Wands energy is an action when it's your advice, right? So how do we do this? How do we take Ace of Wands as an action, right? Well, if this is a big source of inspiration, what if we showed up every day and carved out time every day to hold creative vortex time and space for us to align with that inspiration that's available to us, right? Let's just go with me here. Let's say that there was, this represents Atha energy, right? Which is the goddess of fire. Another name for her is Ostara, right? So let's say that she's here working with you, right? Whatever given shape or form this resonates, right? And let's say that she can only communicate to you if you show up and make time and space to call her phone number, right? And you're calling into Atha by taking time every day to just go, okay, what am I feeling? What is my divine, inspiration today? Okay, well, your divine inspiration, Taurus, is to make a vision board about this idea that you have. And then no more. What else? No, nothing else. That's for today. See you tomorrow. And tomorrow is, okay, look at the vision board that you created and see what stands out and then start, researching that and, compiling a list of related components. And what else? No, that's it. That's all for today. See you tomorrow. Right? So it's a day by day, step by step, making time for that source of divine inspiration. Now, let's say that this is around let's say that you are starting a business or you want to launch a business, whether this is your personal brand or another business, doesn't really matter. And let's say that you're kind of thinking about how to go about doing this. You're kind of like wondering, and then the Ace of Wands comes in and says like, okay, let's take 5 minutes in the morning, right? Actually, this is a really good time to do this. So the liminal space, when you're waking up between being fully awake and asleep in the morning and at night, those are the two liminal space times. Those 2 times a day are when you have direct access to your intuition. Right? It's the equivalent of like going into deep meditation for a half hour. So to take advantage of those liminal spaces, for example, before you're going to sleep or when you're waking up, you can simply, if you so desire, to just allow your mind to be there and just ask a question from that place. what am I being called to do today in service of my dream job or my whatever? You can even leave it open-ended. What am I being called to do today? And then allow yourself to hear it and then go with it, right? I'm being called to really just enjoy myself today and relax and just have a lot of fun. Great. It's about aligning yourself to the source of divine inspiration so that you can be along this path to wish fulfillment in the Wheel of Fortune on a day-to-day basis. It's about showing up and allowing yourself to be available for inspiration. That is more important than I can even say, because when we take inspiration on a day-to-day basis, we align ourselves with potentials that we wouldn't otherwise. When we plan too far in advance, we really cut ourselves off from allowing ourselves to follow the feelings on a day-to-day basis. It's really important. I know it's difficult, like in the human experience, to not plan really far ahead, but it's true. Because what if you make plans for something and then on the day, I know you can relate to this. It's why people flake. You make plans for something a week in advance and the day comes and you're like, my soul is asking me to not do that thing and stay at home today and nurture myself. Right? And then you're like, oh, I gotta go. I said I would go. And then you're going out of obligation. And then, you know what I mean? So as much as you can during this time, try to just show up and follow the directives of the day as in regards to your passions, the better. There's a lot of gold there for you in those liminal spaces. So let's go ahead and, teacher's pet, are we? Oh, this is perfect. So we got the crow here. Hello. Universal laws and truths are now being revealed. Use this energy to create your reality. Use this energy to create your reality? Hello. Universal laws and truths are now being revealed. Use this energy to create your reality. You know, crow energy is very much about, you know, balance and justice and things like the Hierophant, you know, wanting to be fair and just in a certain way, but it's also about synchronicity and high magic and signs. So repeating numbers, deja vu, synchronicities, all of those things. And we're talking about spending time in the liminal place and getting that inspiration for the day. The more that you do that, the more that you will see the universe is responding and going, well done, here's a star. For example, you wake up in the morning and in that liminal space say, what am I being called to do today? Even if you have a busy day planned, you might get an inspiration source that says, okay, you know, go about your day, but take, you know, go to the park, make 20 minutes to go to the park in the afternoon. And then you go to the park in the afternoon and you see a crow in the tree and it's cawing at you and you're like, wow, you get an idea. And then, you know, the next day, or then you go home that night and it pops up on your feed like a bunch of crows and a message about what they represent. And then the next, it's like when the universe gets the memo that you are actively co-creating with it and listening and wanting to work with it, like crow energy, it will meet you and get really, really boisterous in a really great way. And that's when the signs start exploding. And you're like, oh my God, the signs and synchronicities, they're everywhere. They're repeating. And it's really beautiful. And it's a really beautiful source of encouragement when you are actively co-creating with the universe, which is very much the Wheel of Fortune and the star in action. I really love this for you. Universal laws and truths are now being revealed. Use this energy to create your reality. Remember, we talked about creating your status quo, not trying to vibe in anybody else's. And I think that that's really beautiful. Perhaps the status quo that you're meant to create through whatever work you do or your own presence or being or realness or whatever wants to be the status quo for others that are like you, that have a place to go, that don't fit in with the village people walking down the street, which is really, really beautiful. With that being said, I'm sending you so many blessings for the first half of June. I so hope that this helps and resonates. If so, please let me know in the comments below. I love reading your comments. Please like, please share, please subscribe. I would so appreciate it. And with that being said, just thank you so, so much for being here. And as always, and most of all, thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.